We're now going to spend a little bit more time, and we are going to graph linear equations using point plotting. Remember, the whole goal of point plotting is to pick one variable and solve for the other. So that once we have our x value and our y value, we can then plot that point, and that's going to give us all the information we need. And because we're dealing with linear equations, we're going to pick three values. And typically, we're going to pick those three values for x. So let's look at our first example. Suppose we have 2x plus y equals 2. So our first goal is to pick a variable to get by itself, and we're going to pick the y. And so we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And this is going to give y equals minus 2x plus 2. Now that we know that y is minus 2x plus 2, we just pick three values for x. And we're going to pick minus 2, 0, and 2. And we plug them in. So y equals minus 2 times minus 2 plus 2, which is positive 4, plus 2, which is 6. And then y equals minus 2 times 0 plus 2, and that gives 0 plus 2, which is 2. Finally, we get y equals minus 2 times 2 plus 2, which is minus 4 plus 2, and so it gives us minus 4. So our 3 points are minus 2, 6, 0, 2, and 2 minus 4. Notice how easy the 0 case was. Picking x of 0 gave y directly. And now with this, we can plot our points. Back 2, over 2, up 6, and down 2. We can plot our lines, minus 2, 6, 0, 2, 2 minus 2. And we draw our line in as straight as we can get it. Add the arrows at the end to make sure we remind ourselves that it goes on to positive and negative infinity. And we've got our graph. And again, this one was a very, very straightforward graph because we had an integer in front of our x. So what happens if we don't? What if we have y equals 1/3 x plus 4? And so now we need to pick values that will give integers, because especially with the software that we're using, we need integers so that we can graph the points. So notice the y's are already solved for, so now we just need to pick some x's, and again, we only need 3 of them. And so I'm going to take this number right here, and I'm going to make it negative. And that's what I'm going to plug in for x. Then I'm going to plug in 0, because that'll get rid of it. And I'm going to plug the number in again, so notice one's negative and one's positive. So let's see what happens. So y equals 1/3 times minus 3 plus 4. Well, the 3 and the 3 cancel, leaving a 1, and 1 times minus 1 is minus 1 plus 4, which is 3. Okay, when we do it with the 0, we get 1/3 times 0 plus 4, which is 0 plus 4, which is 4. Finally, we get 1/3 times 3 plus 4, which is 1 plus 4, because the 3's divide out, which is 5. So I get the following points. Minus 3, 3, 0, 4, and 3, 5. And we go and graph. We got to go out a bit farther this time, and we get to go up for 5. Add it, minus 3, 3, 0, 4, 3, 5, and we get this graph that's going up and to the right. And that is point plotting with linear equations.